Hello everyone and welcome to VlogMail. VlogMail for the month of
August. Did you forget?
No.
You
I was
did.
letting you basically be my audio in case you wanted to do that. We have got quite a bit of mail to open today. And it all starts with some leathers. We normally do a featured leather, but there were two wedding invitations, and I thought that would actually be really cool because this is like double wedding madness. You married me.
Just gonna leave.
You married, and soon these people will also be married. So we got two wedding invitations. One was from David and Sharon, and one was from Trent and Annie.
This one's Trent and Annie's.
And they each included leathers to be also read.
Along with the
invitation.
The
Instead of
formal
just
invitation.
sending an invitation. I think they understood what I was going for. So the first letter is from Trent and Annie, and it says, "To Stephen and Mal, I'd point out how odd it may be for you guys to receive a wedding invitation from people you've never met. Luckily for us, your response to Pauline and Sean's wedding invite from your May 2017 mail vlog assured us it wouldn't be weird. So we figured we'd have some fun with the extra room we have at our wedding. My fiance and I met while we were both working at the Firehouse Subs over an incident of me scalding my mouth with hot sauce and her assuming that I must have still been in high school. Nevertheless, we eventually hit it off, gave things a shot, and here we are about to tie the knot 4 years later. We both love movies and music, her show tunes and me alternative rock, taking trips with our corgi mix Molly, and binge watching a lot of YouTube. That brings me to how we know you guys. I came across your channel upon finding a vlog featuring Chugga Conroy, who I'm a fan of from the Runaway Guys. I'd have sent them invites as well, but sadly I can't find any P.O. Box numbers from them. I started watching more of your vlogs and quickly came to appreciate how low-key and down-to-earth both you and Mal are. Soon I introduced Annie through showcasing your love of Searle. Aren't I great at making first impressions? She did come around after seeing what your vlogs are more typically like, and we enjoyed your LP of The Walking Dead. We're still waiting to start your playthrough of Season 3, but we're a little preoccupied at the moment getting things ready for the big day. That being the case, where did we find the time to write you guys a letter to go along with this cordial wedding invite? Well, we wanted to send this as a thank you for your content and giving us a good laugh when we need it. We appreciate all of the effort you both put into your livelihoods and hope that you don't push things too hard. We know it hasn't been the easiest year for you guys, and it hasn't been for us as well, but we hope this little token of gratitude can stand as a testament to what a good thing you guys have going on. Oh yeah, and we also wanted to thank you for inspiring our honeymoon destination. Your cruise vlog literally is what inspired us to book our own, so we thank you for that as well. You guys keep being you and doing what you do. Until we meet back tomorrow, shall we? Trent and Annie." Well, Trent and Annie, first off, thank you for the invite. We are not able to attend, but we do appreciate it. And it's nice to get wedding invites. It's nice to hear from people and they are okay with us in their screen enough to show up and eat food at their wedding.
Maybe.
Maybe. And also, at some point, we may actually do that, so just make sure if you send us a wedding invite that you're okay with us potentially just showing up. We also have another letter from a separate couple, Sharon and David, who also sent us a wedding invite, and it says, "Dear Stephen and Mal, we are huge fans of your Let's Plays and vlogs. I, Sharon, began to watch your Skyrim Let's Play back in 2015. At the time, David, my fiancé, was living in South America doing missionary work for 2 years. Before he left, we would play video games together, and Skyrim was our favorite. So as soon as David came home, we started watching together. Now our favorite thing to watch on YouTube is your Fallout 4 vids. We both love the charismatic Grit Jones. We also love watching the videos you both do like Pikmin, since it reminds us of how we game together. Thanks for being so awesome and sharing your lives with us. You have inspired me to start vlogging. Keep on keeping on. From Sharon and David." And they said, "P.S. We have a cat who looks just like Sagan. His name is Griff." Well, Sharon, David, and Griff, I hope that your wedding goes well, and also for Trent and Annie, and good luck to all four of you. It is really nice to receive wedding invitations. So if anyone out there is like, should I invite Stephen out? You're certainly welcome to. We cannot guarantee that we will be there, but also maybe one day we will.
I think it would be cool to show up.
It would. Like a lot of it has had to do with kind of location
and timing.
and
yeah.
Location and timing is a huge thing. But I mean, if the timing is right and it's close enough sometime, we may actually be like, yeah, we could do that. That would be fun. All right. We've still got quite a few packages to go through. And our first package is from Kim in the Netherlands, as Mal gets this open. And it looks like it's wrapped in a poster?
It is wrapped in a poster.
It's wrapped in a poster.
Here.
What?
You take the poster.
Someone pull this out. And it says, talk and sop. Well, it's the Netherlands, so maybe that's why. I can't read that exactly. I'm not sure what that says.
Is it olive oil?
Kind of looks like olive oil. Sort of. Kind of an olive oil something, not sure. Inside there is a letter, and the letter says, Dear Mallory, Stephen, and Astronocats. This time the package is mostly for Mal. I learned so much about painting from your videos, so as a thank you and belated very happy birthday gift, I sent you this painting I made. It is Mallory as a mermaid with 2 types of seahorses.
I love seahorses. It's a leafy sea dragon and then like the regular seahorse.
Normal seahorse.
Normal seahorse.
Mal really does love seahorses. In school, my teachers used to say I would never be able to learn to paint. You have helped me prove them wrong and brought back my love for arts and crafts.
Good.
Also included...
Prove them wrong.
Also included are a Tenda pin for Stephen and a Mr. Saturn hairpin for you, birthday gifts, and for you both some seeds to plant. They are for people with balconies, so they won't take up much space and still grow you yummy things.
So, strawberries. I'm excited about strawberries.
I love I have a hard time deciding what my favorite fruit is. But strawberries might be it. Also, maybe just straight up one of my favorite foods. Just big fan of strawberries.
And then there's pepper, sweet peppers.
Which is probably one of your favorite things.
Yeah, I really like bell peppers.
A lot. Like too much even. We gotta slow you down.
This is the Tenda pin.
That's cute.
And
very,
then
very
there's
cute.
the Mr. Saturn hairpin.
Dakota. I am happy Kepi and Sagan love their gifts. In my country, catnip toys like these are given to pets. Simply rub them to make the nip scent active again. Well, enough for me. Wish you all the best and stay awesome. Kimberly, aka 05 Nataku. And it says, P.S. Packaging is in old poster. They did not have any correct size envelopes. Oh.
It's neat.
It is neat. I don't think we've ever opened something that was wrapped in a poster like this, so it was interesting to open that up and see that. Kim, thank you so much for everything. And the kitties are still enjoying the catnip toys. They're littered all over the place, and from time to time we'll pick one up and go, and it makes little crunchy sounds. They're like, and then they come over and you got all the catnip ready and you hand it to them and they're like, then they just go crazy. It's a lot of fun. Next up we have a package from Emily from All's Well That Ends Well, New York. Did you like that? Because it's End Well, New York.
That's good.
Thanks. I thought I did okay.
A bomb.
Not just any bomb. That's a bob-omb.
A bob-omb.
As opposed to a William-omb, which doesn't really have the same ring to it.
He has like a little...
Is it slippery? You've dropped it like 3 times.
It's like velvety.
Are you worried it's going to go off? Oh, it is velvety. It's also really cute. I like the little key.
The key is cute.
Oh my goodness. That is adorable.
Oh my gosh. It's the boys.
That is absolutely adorable. Do you guys see that?
It's so cute.
That is so cute. It's Sagan and Kepi. And they're sitting in the basket. Oh, wow. That is amazing. God, they're so cute. I'm just like, yeah, that's going onto the shelf immediately. Wow, I love that.
There's a note that says, you guys are da bomb.
I don't know. Do they tick? They kind of tick in some of the games, I'm pretty sure. And then finally we have a letter that says read
after gifts.
After the gifts, as opposed to before. And it says, hello. It's been a while since I've sent anything, but I wanted to send these. Not going to lie though, the bob-omb was partially because of the pun, which I hope wasn't a dud. Did you just make a pun to explain your pun? That's pretty good. The cat basket was actually picked up at my favorite Pennsylvania location, Shady Maple Smorgasbord. It's a Pennsylvania Dutch all-you-can-eat happiness with a huge gift shop. We usually take a trip during the summer to eat there and go to the Amish country at Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and get jelly and other stuffs. I saw the cats, and one looked straight up like Kepler. I had to Saganize/Saganfy the other one. It was a tabby, but light brown with white bits. Hope you guys like it. Love, Emily. Holy cow. You painted that. I couldn't even tell.
It looks like Sagan.
That's amazing. Now, Emily also, in the past, sent us painted amiibo.
Yes.
So if you've seen...
The Ninten
and also
the Klaus one.
Klaus. So if you've seen one of the past mail videos, you've probably seen the work that she did, and it was incredible. So I'm not actually that surprised to see how good this is. I didn't even know. Like, I looked at it and I was like, wow, where did you find something so perfect that had the cats? And it's like, well, it wasn't. I had to fix it. I'm like, holy crap! It looks you can't tell. You did such an incredible job with this. I love this a lot. Like, this is just, it's so precious because they are our babies. I love it. Anyway, Emily, thank you so much for sending this in. This is something I'm going to really cherish. Next up, we have a package from Elizabeth in Kent, Washington. And it's
right on the top.
What's cool is that the package, it's not a chest.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, but it is kind of like a little...
Open it up.
Yeah, you just lift the lid. It felt like a treasure chest. So, of course, you got a blue rupee. I think like a fine wine. I'm getting better at that with age.
I think it's just kind of turned itself into this other thing.
Yeah. Elizabeth says, my mom is playing Twilight Princess. P.S. I wrote this in June. It is now August. Whoops. Not much has changed. And Mom finished Twilight Princess. Looks like you guys aren't the only ones who fall behind in mail. And then inside the letter itself says, Dear Stephen and Mal, long time no read. Liz again, grateful for asking you guys to poke each other last time I wrote. I bursted out laughing. Can you poke each other again? Oh my lord!
I wasn't paying attention.
Holy crap! Oh my, I'm gonna have a bruise! I mean, just bam! Are you serious? I can still feel it! I was just gonna like... And you're like, no, this is my opportunity. What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Oh my God.
I misjudged the distance.
It is tender as all get out. Oh my Lord. Wow. I'm not even poking. No, I'm just gonna stay over here and read Liz's letter by myself. Holy crap, I can't believe you hit me that hard. I mean, you might as well just slugged me. It was practically the same thing.
Sorry.
I forgive you, but like, you clearly were not aware how far away you were or how strong you are. You just... All right, where were we? I recently got back from touring with Discover the Dinosaurs Unleashed. That was a long 5 months, of which I never wrote you guys like I wanted to. Whoops. Oh well. It was an interesting adventure that took me to all new places I've never been, mainly to the East Coast. It even took us to South Carolina one week, about 3 hours away from you guys. Cannot remember what city, as they all start blurring together in my head. That happens when you go to a new city every week. There are a few cities that stick out in my head. The best was Atlanta, as it was one of the few cities we could walk around in and get to places. We were also there when the next gen came out for Pokemon Go, so I took a day to just walk and catch as many new Pokemon as I could. There were so many lures out, it was great. I even caught a Bayleaf and Crocodile along the way. That was a good leg day. We were also close to New York City, so a few of us went. We got to see the world of Nintendo while there. I'll admit, I was underwhelmed. It was fairly small for what I thought it would be. The last place that sticks out is Palm Beach, Florida, and it wasn't even for the city. 5 of us drove down to Universal Studios and spent the day there, and I had never been before. It was so great to experience new rides for the first time in forever. Have you guys been there before? Yes. Yes. Well, Palm Beach? Well, they were in Palm Beach and then they drove to Universal. I thought there was like a second Universal near Palm Beach. I was like, wait, is there a second? No. Yeah, Universal Studios is actually my second favorite amusement park. It used to be my first, and then Epcot. I went to Epcot and I was like, this is more my speed. I'm not really into rides. I don't like riding rides. And,
I like riding rides.
Universal Studios has got Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And Islands of Adventure is for the adventurous people, and Universal Studios is more like tame rides. And it's also like film themed. So I'm just all about that theme park. But I like Epcot because you can eat.
It's all it is.
Yeah, you basically walk around and eat food at Epcot, so that's probably the reason I like it so much. One city that stuck out for a not so good reason was when we were setting up the exhibit show thing in a horse arena. Lots of dirt and horse smell. We also had to pack up the show in one night because of a tornado warning. That was fun. I have sent you guys a few games that I found while traveling that were a decent price, and also I've never seen them before. More for your collection. Looks like I rambled again. Whoops. Make the mail video even longer. Hope you guys are doing well and that Steven is recovering well from his appendix flash sale. Mao, your art is so beautiful, is as beautiful as ever, and I am sad I fell behind on those videos. I watched the time lapses though. Makes me want to paint, but I'm afraid to spend money on the supplies and then not do anything with them. Do you have a tip for that? As a side note, I did somehow keep up with Fallout 4, so many rib cages. Thank you guys for all the hard work you do. You guys are incredible and are honestly, for lack of better words, relationship goals. Stay cool this summer. Thank you for your time, Liz. Well, cool. Thank you, Liz. What is your tip for someone, Mao, that is interested in painting but is also worried about jumping in and being like, oh wait, this isn't for me?
Buying like a small amount of supplies.
Like a starter kit.
Yeah, the paints I use, Golden, they have like a little starter kit that's like 1 ounce tubes.
Yep.
So it's cheaper that way, but there's also even cheaper sets that might be good to get into. Reeves Art, like they have like sets of different types of paint. Like they have a watercolor, a gouache, an acrylic, an oil paint set. Like you could pick up the acrylic or the gouache and like try it out, and you could just paint straight on paper and see how you like it. But get heavy paper, not like a computer paper. That won't work so good. Yeah,
and actually, I don't think the video was out at the time that Liz sent in the letter, but we recently did a Q&A where you actually talk about your supplies and
oh yeah,
you talk about how much it is to paint a painting, but then you also use that opportunity to say, like, if you're interested, you can paint for a lot cheaper. It doesn't have to be, you don't need this, and this.
Yeah.
So that's something I would definitely recommend.
Also, watercolors are pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, there's obviously a bunch of mediums that you can choose to jump into the creative scene with. So what is it that Liz sent us? Games that she found on the road, which brings me back to whenever we were traveling around the country in 2014, 13? When we drove from the West Coast. East Coast.
I know the trip. I don't remember what it was.
We picked up a lot of games then. I have never heard of any of these games. Never. There's a Wii U game called Legend of K Anniversary, which makes me feel like there was a Legend of K, and this is the Anniversary Edition, and I'm like, what? No, it's what it says. It says 10 years after its initial release, Legend of K Anniversary is a thoroughly remastered version of the original game. What is Legend of K? I have no idea, but that's in here. There's a Wii game called The Monkey King: The Legend Begins. I've never seen any of these games ever before. This is wild. I love this sort of thing because I love stumbling across stuff I never see. The Wii is really good about that though, because the library is insanely huge. It's whenever we're like looking for games, I'm always looking at like Super Nintendo and things, and I know every single game in that library. But the Wii is like the Wild West. Like, what the heck is the Monkey King? I have no idea. But here it is, and it's got a red disc, and it's got the manual with it. No idea. And then finally, Arctic Tale, from the people who brought you March of the Penguins. Play through the adventures of the major motion picture. And it's a National Geographic licensed game. And it's by a company called DSI Games, and I know of them, so they're probably the developer or the publisher, one of the two. But yeah, it's a game, and it says, the far north of our planet is one of the most perilous environments in the world. Take on the role of either a young polar bear or a walrus growing up and try to survive. What?
Interesting.
Yeah, I love this sort of thing. Like, obviously I love collecting video games, and it doesn't matter what the video game is. It could be something like super hard to find, or it could be a more classic title, or even something just off the wall like this. Like, I've never heard of this game, but now we get to add it to our collection. So I'm glad that you found these and sent them our way, Liz. I appreciate it. Anyway, thanks again, and I hope that you had a wonderful
good trip around the country.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. Being able to travel and see things like that is really awesome. So if you get to do it for your job and it's just a perk of your employment, like, that's a huge bonus. Our final package is huge. I mean, really huge. In fact, when I picked it up from the post office, I had to go up to the front counter, and the guy was like, "This is a big one," and it's a 30-pound package. And this is from Matthew in Saginaw, Michigan. Speaking of Sagan is coming to see this package from Saginaw.
This box is his true gift to our cat.
It's true. Anytime someone sends in a large package, they're also giving a gift to a cat in need. A cat who desperately needs a box. Or at least thinks he does.
He's creeping over here.
We don't even have the stuff out of the box yet, pal.
What are you doing?
You can have the box, but you can't have it yet. All right, so there's all sorts of stuff in here. I see a leather, so I'm going to pull this out and see if I can go through here. We have got, Dear Stephen and Mal, greetings from Michigan. My wife and I found your channel early this year, 2017, and have been greatly enjoying all the content you produce.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We get so many letters from people that are like, "Oh, we've been watching for forever." It's really nice to know that people are still discovering the channel. So yes, welcome. It's been great to have Mal in your Let's Plays because my wife has always been hesitant with regard to playing games herself, feeling she isn't very good at them. Finally, I've gotten her to find the games she enjoys. My mother has been trying desperately to get rid of all the old things that are around our house, and it fell to me to clean up the huge stack of old video games. Trust me, this isn't even all of them, since there were quite a lot I still wanted to keep. I figured, well, Stephen and Mal could always use more old games, right? I haven't cross-checked your list of what you have, so feel free to do as you wish if there are any duplicate games. I've also included a list of most of the games in this package. This list is for games I could find the original packaging with a few exceptions. It also includes the games of a sort of dubious origins, 2 strange non-Nintendo Bible games, and a very fake Pokemon game titled Pocket Monsters Go Go!
That's right here on top.
Oh, I remember that old that old classic Pocket Monsters Go Go. You know what I love about that is that's Pokemon Go. But it's Japanese, so it's Pocket Monsters, and it's Go Go. This is the sequel to Pokemon Go. We have it. Here it is. Everyone's like, I wonder if they'll make another one.
Came out in
Does it have a date?
99?
1989. 1989, 1998. We've had the sequel to Pokemon Go for 20 years. 20 years, didn't even know. The non-boxed games are not listed and include a variety of titles, some of interest. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I hope this package finds the both of you well, and that you can continue to do all of the things you love on the channel. I look forward to all your future endeavors. All the best, Matthew and Tessa. P.S. The list was written by my wife since her handwriting is nicer than mine. There should be 3 pages, including a variety of Game Boy Advance, DS, Game Boy Color, and original Game Boy games. Okay, so first off, thank you for sending this in and sending in the letter, but also, I said it already, but I'm so glad that not only you found a channel that you enjoy, because then I know at least YouTube's sort of working, like it's sort of making recommendations and getting the channel out there, but also that you enjoyed it enough to send in games. That's awesome. I appreciate it. And also, this box is huge. This box is gigantic. So what I could do, there's a lot of games. Instead of reading the list, I think I'm just going to kind of read them as I pull them out so we can kind of show them.
Pocket Monsters Go Go.
Pocket Monsters Go Go. They did a good job with this, though. It looks pretty official.
The back is straight up from
Pokemon,
Red and Blue because it says you need the.
No. Oh my God.
What?
This is Kirby's Dream Land.
Oh, I didn't look at the pictures. I just read that.
You guys aren't gonna be able to see this because it's too small, but like this is Kirby's Dream Land from the Game Boy, and instead of Kirby riding Rick the hamster, it's Pikachu. Pikachu riding a hamster. What? Otherwise, you're right. It is straight up the written text of Pokemon Red and Blue. It is, however, screenshots from Kirby. Like, Pikachu is riding Rick and collects like a Maxim tomato. Like, what the heck is... I'm excited. I'll tell you that. I'm excited about that one. I don't know. We'll have to do a special, like, video where we just play some of these weird games. Because other people have sent in some of these games as well. Oh my goodness, this is Wisdom Tree. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. This is awesome. Wisdom Tree, for those who are not aware, Wisdom Tree is a company that was around in the early 90s, maybe a little earlier than that, produced unlicensed video games for the NES, the Super NES, the Game Boy, maybe the Genesis, probably most infamously for the NES. But they made games like Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. They also made a Bible that was for your Game Boy. And they weren't ever sold in major stores. You could only buy these games in Christian bookstores. And it's actually, over the years, made them kind of rare because if you didn't get them early on, like they weren't around. This is awesome. I have never in my life seen these boxed, period. And to be holding them is actually really, really cool. The other weird thing is that Wisdom Tree is still around. They are still around. In fact, not too long ago, they worked with a publisher to re-release their Super Nintendo game, Super 3D Noah's Ark. We did a vlog about it. That's because
we opened it.
Yeah, Wisdom Tree is still around, and it's been, I don't know how many years. It's wild. Anyway, so there's, this is a sealed game. This is a sealed Game Boy game. I feel like I went back in time. That's how I feel. I feel like I went back in time. There's a 4-in-1 fun pack here. And this is 4-in-1 Fun Pack Volume 2, boxed Game Boy games. Sealed. This is a sealed Game Boy game. And I was gonna say, this is a particularly old one. This is 1992. Wow. Sorry, super nostalgia right now. I'm super excited. We got Pokemon trading card game manual. And the game itself. Mm-hmm. Wonderful game, by the way. Absolutely adore this game. I'll just hand them to you. Yeah, this is Survival Kids, which I've vaguely heard of. It's a Konami title. Yoshi, for the original Game Boy. The Infogenius Personal Organizer. Infogenius is a company that made a lot of little Game Boy games like this. I have one for, like, maps. It was just maps of, like, 13, like, major U.S. cities. There's a Game Boy game called Dexterity. Mario's Picross. Word Zap, Pipe Dream, Square Deal. Never heard of that. Absolutely never heard of that.
Looks like a card game.
Boggle Plus. Boggle. Shadowgate. Oh, that's cool. Shadowgate Classic. I think that's a Game Boy Color game. We've got Loops. I don't think I've ever heard of Loops. There's a lot of Game Boy games I haven't quite heard of either. Tesserae. Okay. Boomer's Adventure in Asmic World. What? What is that? What? I don't know what that is. There's Pocket Bomberman. Very cool title. There are so many games in here. Zoop. Good old Zoop. I actually owned Zoop for Game Boy, and I don't think I had it on Super Nintendo, but it was also on Super Nintendo and I believe Genesis. We got Yoshi's Cookie. Bubble Bobble. Bomberman something.
Pocket Bomberman.
Bomberman Game Boy, which is different than Pocket Bomberman. We've got Hexite, The Shapes of Victory, which is a really wonderful subtitle. There's another Infogenius game, French Translator. It's so wild because, like, everything has changed. We have this stuff on our phone. But before, you could potentially go to France with your Game Boy and, translate French. Mole Mania, which is that a Natsume game? It doesn't say, but I think it's a Natsume game. Never heard of this at all. Ishido, The Way of Stones, and it has Stonehenge on the front. There are some really weird, obscure games in here. Wario Land 2, we also got some classics. F1 Race, which I think was the first Game Boy game to utilize the multi-link. You'd actually do 4-player racing in 1989 on F1 Race. people get all excited about like internet connectivity. That was what playgrounds were for. There's another translator for Spanish. I didn't know that all these existed. Clax, which is Midway game. Wow, you have a big stack. Jeopardy. I was gonna say it's 2 games in one, but it's Jeopardy, but they put the title on it twice, which is kind of bizarre. With over 1,500 questions. Donkey Kong Land 2, which is a wonderful game. All the Donkey Kong Land games are great. Wordtris, the original Wario Land, one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time. Flipple? I've never heard of so many of these. Solitaire, Fun Pack. There's a lot of these Fun Pack games. I don't know if they're all made by the same company. Super Mario Land, which has got some of my favorite music. Kirby's Block Ball. I don't think I've ever played that one. Kirby's Dream Land 2. Once again, you can see Kirby riding Rick the Hamster, and that was what was on the back of that other game.
Pocket Monster Go-Go.
So confusing. This one's called Boxel, and it shows a really excited guy pushing a box around.
That's the whole game.
You just push a box. That's the game. Kirby's Pinball Land, which was my first Game Boy game I ever owned. Pokemon trading card game. There's a second copy of that in here. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, which if you ever play Super Mario Brothers, highly consider playing this version because this one actually has an overworld map and a save feature. So if you've played the original Super Mario Brothers and you're like, it's kind of hard and I wish I could save, you gotta play the Game Boy Color version. Quicks, which I've heard of, but I'm not sure what it is. Dig Dug. Apparently they released the arcade classic Dig Dug on Game Boy. And Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, which is a wonderful game. I actually covered it as a First 20 a few years ago. And if you've never played this game, I think it's on Virtual Console for 3DS. You should play it. So much history in here. We've got a ton. Is the rest of the... it looks like almost, or maybe the rest of the box is boxed, which is incredible. And everything is in amazing condition.
Yes.
Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition, Stairway to the Destined Duel. So we got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. I have to start putting these down here because I'm running out of the couch room. Got another Yu-Gi-Oh! Title, The Eternal Duelist Soul. Yoshi Topsy Turvy, which I never had a chance to play, but I remember reading about back in the day. We've got Ultimate Brain Games, which is just a collection of games. Sonic Pinball Party. Check it out. You see the Knights into Dreams character back there? Is their name Knights? I don't know. And also I don't know the name of the character, but it's
the Samba Monkey?
It's the Maraca game for Dreamcast. Okay. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, which is a really, really wonderful Zelda title that I don't think I ever finished. I think I got like right to the end and never beat it. Medal of Honor Infiltrator, Scrabble Blast. There's some more games here that I definitely have not heard of. Sea Trader Rise of Taipan. Really wonderful. We have 2 copies of Advance Wars 2. The Advance Wars series is fantastic, and I love it. I would love to try and figure out a way to bring it to the channel in a way that makes sense and would be interesting for people, but I really enjoy that series. Yoshi's Island Super Mario Advance 3, which is a great game. Mega Man Battle Chip Challenge, Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Oh man, I rented this. No, I did. I was like, why does this sound so familiar? I rented this from Blockbuster. Back when Blockbuster was a thing and you could actually rent Game Boy Advance games, I rented this. And I don't think I've played it since then, but that's wild. Pokemon Pinball, not the first pinball. The first pinball was on Game Boy Color, and it might have also worked on original Game Boy, but this one, they made a new one for Advance for Ruby and Sapphire. Bubble Bobble Old and New. This is a sealed game. This is a sealed Game Boy Advance game. Tales of Fantasia. I haven't played the Tales series, but people really, really enjoy it. Oh man, Mario Kart Super Circuit. Fantastic game. I put a ton of hours into that title. Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, and also Four Swords, which is a different Four Swords than the Game Boy, the GameCube game. That's a completely different game. This is its own like separate adventure. I mean, you played this one.
Yeah.
Because they released it for free on Virtual Console, and we played it on a plane ride at some point and got through it. It was the first time I'd ever played through that. Another sealed game, Crash and Spyro Super Pack. It's got 2 video games in one. Gem Smashers. Never heard of Gem Smashers. Denki Blocks. I've never heard of that either. Another sealed game, Columns Crowns by THQ. We've got Gadget Racers, which is another game I haven't heard of. The Game Boy Advance had a lot of games like the Wii does where I wasn't even sure, I'd never heard of the stuff. Wings, Simply Wings. Oh, wow, Sigma Star Saga. I've never played this, but I remember reading a lot about it and how it was like a big deal or something. Like, was it because it reminded people of Earthbound or something? Maybe.
I've never heard of it, so.
I've heard of it, but I don't remember. Now I don't remember exactly why. Nightmare in Dreamland, which is a really fantastic Kirby title. Pocket Music, featuring a version of My Name Is, originally recorded by Eminem.
A version.
The early 2000s were a different time when that name or that song was so popular that would probably sell this game on its own. We've got Tokitori, which I've seen, but I'm not sure what it is. We got a few sealed games here. Bomberman Max Blue Champion Edition, Bomberman Max Red Challenger, and also the original Advance Wars, which is super, super cool. Even more games are coming out of this box, and there are still so many more. I hope you guys like reliving the nostalgia of old games. Keep the Balance. I have never heard of that.
Only on Nintendo. Game Boy Color.
Only for Game Boy Color. The original Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Color. There was Donkey Kong Land on Game Boy, and also Donkey Kong Land 2 and 3. Then they released Donkey Kong Country onto Game Boy Color. They also released Donkey Kong Country again onto Game Boy Advance. There's a little history lesson. I've been playing video games for a long time. I've learned a thing or two. Asterix and Obelix, which is the is it
French?
Is it French? I thought it was Norwegian.
Asterix. No, they're French. They're based off the ancient French, which were called the Gaul.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay. Anyway, the back of the box is in. Is that German? German.
Eine.
Huh.
Dorfter.
Wild. Okay. I don't think there was. I'm pretty sure there wasn't any protection on those games. So I think they can. There's no region. I don't think the Game Boy is region locked. Deja Vu 1 and 2 for Game Boy Color. This was one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time. I also did a first 20 of this, and to have the box back from my childhood is actually kind of wild. Like, that's really, really cool. There is also Magi Nation, which is some sort of maybe card game, I think. On the back, or on this side, it's Dragon Warriors Monsters 2 Terra's Adventure. And it says on the front, compatible with Game Boy Advance, because this must have been during the transition period. So they wanted to make sure that parents who were buying games for their kids knew that if they had a Game Boy Advance, they could still buy this. We've got Seasons and Ages, which is awesome. Holy crap. This is a sealed Game Boy Color game, Pro Darts. There's also Warlocked, which I think Warlocked is an old arcade game, but I'm not entirely sure. Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. This is another game like Topsy Turvy. I never get a chance to actually play it. It's kind of cool to finally own. Mr. Drill. Is it called Mr. Oh, Driller? That's actually not much better. Mr. Driller, Mr. Driller. It's about the same. I've seen this. I just don't know what it is. It's some sort of puzzle game. Chess Master. We've got Power Quest, which is a Sunsoft game, also completely sealed. There is Hoyle Card Games, Metal Walker from Capcom. It looks like, doesn't that look like Meta Knight?
Yeah.
It looks like Meta Knight. And it's not the same company, so that's because that's Capcom, not HAL Laboratory, but still, that's wild. Ultra 3D Pinball Thrill Ride. Isn't this a computer game? Yeah, it's by Sierra. This is like a port. That's crazy.
On Game Boy Color?
Yeah, but they redid everything because it's pixels. It's not like they just took an image and scaled it down. Tetris DX. I probably played more of this than any other version of Tetris when I was a kid. I loved this game. Lufia: The Legend Returns. And once again with that little, this is compatible with Game Boy Advance. so the parents know. Holy cow. Lemmings for Game Boy Color. The arcade hit classic Super Breakout for Game Boy. Final Fantasy Legend 2. Here is another copy, a box copy of F1 Race. Azure Dreams. Oh, this is... What is it about? There's something important about this game too, and I can't remember exactly.
Konami title.
I think maybe it's just really rare. I'm not entirely certain. But there's something. This game is also important, or maybe it's like really good. Sometimes you can only, because you can only intake like so much knowledge about video games.
Your brain is only so big.
Exactly. We also have Jack Nicklaus Golf and Battleship. There is a box copy of WarioWare Twisted, which has got this little cool hologram on the front showing you how to do it. You got a sealed copy of Iridian 3D. There's also a box copy of Shining Soul, which is a Sega title from back in the day. A box copy sealed of SimCity 2000. They made SimCity 2000 for Game Boy Advance? Okay. I'm real curious what that plays like. There is WarioWare Inc., the original Mega Micro games for Game Boy Advance. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which came out, I think, after Nightmare in Dreamland. This one's just called Sheep. And by the looks of it, it's a game where you run sheep over with a car. I don't know if that's right or not. Sealed copies of Super Bust-A-Move, Drill Dozer, a lot of drill games, Godzilla Domination, which we actually played for Extra Life.
Yeah.
Which was, we beat this game, and this is a sealed copy of it. Metroid Zero Mission, which is a Game Boy, I believe this is a Game Boy Advance remake of the original Metroid? I think so. We have got Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. I believe this is a really well-liked Castlevania title. I'm not entirely sure. Bomberman Max 2.
Play as Bomberman.
Blue Edition. And also Red Edition. This is bizarre. And there's still a lot left. If you want to pause and get some popcorn, that's totally okay. We'll wait. Shining Force Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. Ultimate Card Games. And Mech Platoon. There's also, as Mal continues to hand me stuff, Sword of Mana, Square Enix game, or Square Enix, however you want to. They made.
I knew you were gonna say something.
They made a second one, Mr. Driller 2, Drill Harder, and Mario Pinball Land. I've never played this. I remember when it came out, thinking that I'd really enjoy it, but I never get a chance to actually play it. And it has 3D graphics because the Game Boy Advance is powerful enough to do that. It's kind of wild. You guys probably aren't going to be able to see that, but it's actually a 3D board. We've got a special digest version of The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. So it's a Phantom Hourglass player's guide, but it's like a little tiny version of it.
The rest are DS games.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Nintendo DS Guitar Hero on Tour with the little adapter to play the game. And oh my goodness. So there's a Japanese game.
Dream.
That's Itoy.
Yeah, this is the character for Dream. I might be wrong on that.
Huh. This is
no, it's not Dream.
This is Shigesato Itoi's company's logo. The Hobonichi logo. So this was something they sold. Is this like a digital version of their planner or something? It kind of looks like it. I have no idea what that is. But that's super cool. And also, I'm reaching here, but
it does kind of look like a planner,
doesn't it? I think I'm not entirely sure, but I think.
Yeah, this is his because it's.
Well, I mean, it's his because of the logo on the front, but I didn't know that they made that.
Open it up. Look at the box.
Okay. I will. Yeah, inside is the game and the manual.
I'm gonna look through the manual.
And let me pull this out here. There's a Club Nintendo code that is, obviously long expired. There's an advertisement in here for some other games from Nintendo. And then the manual itself, if we look through the manual, it obviously has Japanese in it. Kind of hoping to see some. It says new global daily concise. This is what this is, Mal.
That's awesome.
It looks to be a digital version of the Hobonichi Techo, which I did not even know existed. and I call myself an Earthbound fan. Wild.
That is super crazy.
I've never seen this before. I had no idea that this even existed. Or if I did, I've long forgotten. That is really cool. Holy crap. And there's still more to go through, so holy cow, I gotta keep moving. Sealed DS game, My Fun Facts Coach. Facts for your daily life. So if you want to learn some stuff. Nintendo DS browser. Did you know that this is a thing?
No.
So the Nintendo DS, the original DS, and also the DS, they call it the Lite?
Yeah.
The DS Lite had browsers. You had to have the game to run it. They released the DS browser, and then they also released the DS browser Lite because it has a pack that goes in the Game Boy Advance slot, and the DS Lite has a shorter slot.
It does.
So you had to have a different one so it didn't stick out. It's just wild. Asterisk and Obelix Triple X or Double XL2 Mission Wifix. Not exactly sure how to pronounce that. And there's another one. These are really huge boxes, by the way. They're German. They're just huge. Were they like this in other countries? Maybe.
It's kind of neat.
It is neat. And it's not like from what I can tell, it's not like a weird third-party thing. Like, it's an actual case. I didn't know that they looked like this. It's really cool. Harvest Moon DS, cute.
Cute.
Just put the cute label on it. Cute. Drawn to life. This is Advance Wars Dual Strike. Put a lot of time into this one as well. Advance Wars Days of Ruin. Put a short amount of time into this. I think it was because it came out around the time other things were coming out. Wordjong. Lost in Blue from Konami. We've also got Mr. Driller Drill Spirits. Mr. Driller 3. WarioWare Touched, which is I think I 100%ed this game, actually. I really enjoyed this title. Super Mario 64 DS, great game. Trauma Center Under the Knife.
Love that game.
Have you played this one specifically?
Is that the first one?
I'm not sure. The only Trauma Center I've ever played was the one we did a first 20 on. Where,
no, this is the one I've...
Where, like, I killed a man or something.
This is the first one, isn't it? I think this is the one I did.
Trace Memory, which is a game that I owned a long time ago, and then I lost or something. So it's actually really nice to have it back. I never beat this. I got to a part in some sort of house or mansion, and I got lost, and I couldn't figure out what to do. My Spanish Coach, Touch Panic. Don't
Japanese.
Don't panic, just touch. The original Brain Age, which I had put a lot of time into, training my brain. Rondo of Swords. Never heard of that one. River King Mystic Valley. That's a Natsume game. You can just tell based on
looking at it, yeah.
Just you can tell just looking at it. Dragon Quest IV, Chapters of the Chosen. High Cross DS. My Word Coach. There's a lot of these Word Coach games. Metroid Prime Pinball, which is another game I owned and I didn't remember existed till I just saw this, but Metroid Prime Pinball. Mario Kart DS. I got so good at this game.
We played a lot.
Yeah, me and you played this. That's right. When we were dating, Mal and I played this together, and it was fun. It was fun. I had so much fun playing this game. In fact, so much fun that there's a sealed copy behind it. So there's actually 2 copies of Mario Kart DS. Scribblenauts, which is awesome. Really, really fun game. SimCity DS, my SAT coach. Oh my god, Electroplankton. This was such a weird game. Have you ever played this?
No. It's cool box art.
It's, do you remember the old Flash game Flow?
Yes.
By the company that eventually made Journey and everything? So this is kind of like that. You're underwater and touching the things make different sounds. And you kind of like make music by touching the plankton.
That one slid.
Locke's Quest from the creators of Drawn to Life. We've got Harvest Moon DS, Zelda Phantom Hourglass, Zelda Spirit Tracks, Brain Age 2, more training in a day, and Kirby Canvas Curse.
I loved that game.
Which was a super unique and fun DS game where you used the touchscreen and you drew a path for Kirby and he rolls.
Kind of, yeah.
And if you wanted to gain speed, like you drew him a loop and he like quickly, it was such a neat idea. There's a sealed copy of Final Fantasy III for the DS. The New York Times crosswords. Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. I had no idea that this game existed. It's wild. Final Fantasy
Ring of Fates.
Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates, because apparently this is a sub-level of Crystal Chronicles. I didn't even know that there was anything under Crystal Chronicles, which was a GameCube game that supported the Game Boy Advance link.
You know all this stuff.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. Now, you have to understand, when I was growing up, and also now, video games were my life. I mean, if I wasn't playing video games, and even if I didn't own them, I was reading about them all the time. I had Nintendo Power in my hand from the time I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I adored video games. And over the years, I guess I've retained some of that knowledge. Children of Mana. Is this the final stack?
It's the last stack.
Oh my goodness. Everyone's like, we've been here a long time. And I'm like, there's a lot of games here. So, My Chinese Coach. Luminous Arc 2. Also includes Music CD. Luminous Arc 1. Metroid Prime Hunters, which I think was maybe a launch title for the DS. The DS came with a demo of it. Maybe that's why I think so. Prince of Persia Battles. And a sealed copy of My French Coach.
Oh la la.
It says ooh la la on the back?
No.
Oh. I thought you're just doing the French thing. French people say ooh la la. Probably. Okay, so, first off, that took a while. I think we maybe still have people with us.
Maybe.
Maybe. They went to a different tab and they're just listening to the stuff. This was super nostalgic because it goes through a really interesting time in video game history, a very specific time. I guess it's a pretty big range of mobile stuff just in general. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS. But I really enjoyed the trip because it felt like I was taking a trip through time and it was super fun. That being said, holy crap, thank you so much. This is completely unreal. And this is, without a doubt, by a fairly sizable margin, I think I can say the most video games that we have ever received at one time. There's been other huge packages, no doubt. We received a package of like 100 PS2 games, I think, earlier this year. But this is even bigger than that, and there's so much of this stuff is boxed. Some of the games are sealed. Some of the games I've never seen before. Some of the games I never thought I would ever see complete. Like, seriously, these Wisdom Tree games, I never thought I would ever even see these complete. So to see them here like this is just absolutely wild to me.
Pocket Monster Go Go.
And also, I can't wait to see Pikachu ride on Rick and go through literally just Kirby's Dream Land 2. So I cannot understate this thank you. Like, thank you so much. This is incredible. Matthew and Tessa, thanks. This is obviously going to help further those handheld collections. I think I called them mobile earlier. I called them mobile games because it's now ingrained in my head because of the phones. Handheld games. Before it was called mobile, it was called handheld. I'm just blown away. And I have no idea how many games are here, but I know that someone was really curious after we started listing games and they counted. So if you counted, commenters, or if someone now wants to go back and count, put it in the comments, because I would love to know. And also there will be some debate because someone's going to be like 1 or 2 off, and then there'll be a little fight in the comments. But like, no, I got that one. So that's always fun to read. Wow. We're gonna need a new shelf. There's so many games here. Again, thank you. I'm very speechless, and I sincerely appreciate it. And also, I wanted to mention, and I think that you would appreciate this. You are a huge fan and lover of video games, not only because of the diversity of all these games, but the shape that you kept them in. The fact that you have these games complete, the fact that the boxes are basically in perfect condition, like, that is someone who really adores video games and really wants to keep their stuff in, pristine quality. And that's the way I was when I was younger, and to see that, someone else really cared about that and did that with their own stuff, that means that someone really, really loves games. So, yeah, thanks again. For everyone who sent something in this month, this was a wild month, a really fantastic month. There's so many amazing things that were sent in. Thank you. We sincerely appreciate it. And if you're watching now and you'd like to send something in, you can. Just go to the description box down below. There is a link that will tell you where you can send it.
The mail FAQ.
What you can send, all of those frequently asked questions we've answered in the link down below. And thank you all again. This is wild. I am going to have to take a lot of time to catalog this because I do have a sheet that we keep updated with all of the games that we have. And I think that link is actually in the mail FAQ. I'm going to have to catalog these and then find a spot for them. Because there are quite a few. Once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next month for another mail video.